ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. Now let us continue the story of Moses. Moses worked for the farmer for nearly 2 years, by which time he had learned a great deal about agriculture, but little else. This too will be happening here. Now, someone may have learned much about carpentry, but what about anything else? And the idea is bound to arise many times in your mind. What I am doing here? 2 years have passed and I am only cleaning the floor. What about meditation and what about enlightenment? Only trust knows that while you are cleaning the floor, something is being cleaned in you too. While you are watering the plants, somebody deep down is watering your being too. If you trust, all is possible. Such is the magic of truth. Cleaning is meditation, cooking is meditation, washing is meditation. Meditation is not something apart from life. It is a quality that can be brought to any act, and the act is immediately transformed. One afternoon, when he was baling wool, Kedar appeared to him and said, "Leave that work, walk to the city of Mosul and use your savings to become a skin merchant." So, this is what goes on happening. If there is trust, there will be no anger, no disturbance, because you are not to be either a floor cleaner or carpenter or gardener or this or that. All those are devices to learn the ways of trust. Leave that work, walk to the city of Mosul and use your savings to become a skin merchant. Now he had never been a skin merchant, but he obeyed. This is the definition of a disciple, one who simply obeys. In Mosul, he became a skin merchant, never seeing Qadir for 3 years. Now he had collected a large sum of money and naturally, now he had collected a large sum of money and naturally he started thinking of purchasing a house. That means the moment you start thinking of settling, the master comes and unsettles him. With a master, you can never settle forever in anything. The master has to go on changing you. The moment you feel now your roots are getting deep into the soil, you will be uprooted. The moment you feel now I have learned this work and I am doing it efficiently, your work will be changed, because that is not the purpose when you live in a Buddha field. See, the purpose is to constantly keep you insecure. So one day you learn the beauty of uncertainty. So one day you forget about settling and the very pilgrimage becomes your goal. When the journey itself is the goal, then your life, in the life of a monk, then your life is the life of a monk, sage or saint. Kedar appeared and said, "Give me your money." Now he had worked with for 3 years continuously, and all his hopes are destroyed. And not only his money is taken away, he is ordered to walk to a distant place and work for a grocer there. Moses did so. So presently he began to show undoubted signs of illumination. That is natural. If you trust so much, how long can you remain dark? If there is such trust, such immense trust, how long can you remain ordinary? Extraordinary things started to happen around him. He became luminous. He healed the sick, served the fellow men in the shop during his spare time, and his knowledge of the mysteries became deeper and deeper. He had not been taught anything, he had not been given any information. Still, his insight into the mysteries was growing. Not only that, he had himself become mysterious. Now, people were healed by his touch. Now, people could see something surrounding him, an aura. Now, when people came to him, they could feel they were close to a very, very cool energy. They came with 1,001 worries, and suddenly those worries disappeared. Deeper mysteries were happening. Those mysteries are not opened because of your curiosity. Those mysteries are opened because of your trust. Knowledge comes out of curiosity, and wisdom comes out of revelation. Clerics, philosophers, and others visited him and asked, "Under whom did you study?" They know only one way of knowing, and that is knowledge. From whom you have got the knowledge? Who has been your teacher? They don't know that there is a totally diametrically opposite way of knowing, the real way of knowing. Nobody gives you any knowledge. You simply become more and more silent, more and more feminine and soft, and suddenly things start being revealed to you for from some unknown energy. There is no teacher. Life itself becomes the teacher. They asked him, "How did you start becoming a great sage?" Moses said, "I don't know at all. All I know is that I was a small official in a town, and I would have ended as inspector of weighs and measures." See the point here. If you give something in order to get something, then that is not a renunciation. If you renounce the world to get into heaven, then that is not a renunciation. It is a bargain. He says, "I just gave it up, and there was no reason to give it up. I have not given it up for anything. I simply gave it up." Because without motivation, how can you do anything? Trust knows how to do without motivation. He became famous by and by. "What have you been in your life?" they have asked. Listen to the answer. "I jumped into a river, became a fisherman, then walked out of his reed hut in the middle of night. After that, I became a farmer, and after that I became a skin merchant." See, saved money but gave it away, then walked and worked for a grocer. This is what I am now. Now, what kind of special life is this? But this inexplicable behavior throws no light upon your strange gifts and wonderful examples, said the biographer of his life. That is so. He agreed perfectly. He is also puzzled because he has not specially done anything to become spiritual. To do anything specific to become spiritual is a sure way to lose it. Spirituality is a gift. See, it comes to those who trust. It happens to those who love, and who love immensely without any motivation. The really extraordinary person is one who lives utterly ordinarily, because how can you live extraordinarily when your ego has disappeared? The moment ego is gone, you will be living a very ordinary life. Existence is full of godliness, overflowing with godliness. See, stuffed with godliness. Remember, if you want to see truth, you will have to be able to destroy all fictions. Never believe in any fiction, because it is only truth that liberates. And nobody is allowed to speak of Qadir, that means inner guide, directly. That is why this story is not true. The inner guide is so subtle that it cannot be expressed in words. So, whatsoever is said is only symbolic. It is a representation of a life. It is simply symbolic, a parable. It simply indicates something. It is a pointer. This is the real life of the greatest Sufis. It is a story of trust. It has not happened exactly like this. It need not happen exactly like this. It is just a representation. You will have to you will have a glimpse of the real life of trust. Try to live this story. Only by living it will you know it. So, this is all about the inexplicable man. Thank you all.